Hi, welcome to Icons. I'm your host, Walt Smed, and today we have a very delicious show, and quite literally, and to talk about these delectable items that we have on a table and some of the photographs, my guests with me today are Edgar Valdivia, who is a pitaya expert, and we'll talk about that a little bit more so people know what it is. Emery Walton, who is an enthusiast of rare fruits for many, many years, but he is a composer and a musician, of which we will hear, some of your work in a little bit. And George Pelaez, he's a tropical fruit expert. And what I want to make a note is that you've all started as amateur growers with an interest in it for various reasons, but you're not commercial growers, and neither is the fruit gardener for commercial growers primarily. It is for home gardeners. And George, I want you to start to tell us a little bit about that they do publish this magazine, but tell us a little bit about the California rare fruit growers, and if it's only in California or only in a certain region. And
well, CRFG, California Rare Fruit Growers, that's merely a title of our organization. It's not restricted to the state.
Mm-hmm.
It's spread to several other states already, and we're also internationally. We're in 32 countries around the world.
It has grown then.
Yes, it has.
But it started here.
It started here. I believe it was in the late 1968, and it's just through participation and people's interest, it's grown to where it is today.
And what would you say the membership is right now?
I would say it's around 3,000. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay,
but it's up there.
And of course, each local area has its own local chapters.
We have, I believe, 23, 25 chapters, something like that. Yeah.
And
these are smaller groups,
right?
That are regional. For example, ours is the Los Angeles one chapter. There's a West LA chapter. There's Foothill. There's Orange County. They're regional. They're in the small. But the mother organization, its home office, I believe, is in Fullerton, California.
Okay, is that near the Arboretum?
Yes.
Okay. And where does your group meet?
Our group normally, when we just have a regular meeting, it meets at this Sepulveda garden area.
Okay, and that's
in the valley,
okay.
In Encino.
Oh yes, in Encino. That's right off the freeway.
Right off, yeah.
So it's
right off Havenhurst, I believe.
Havenhurst, right, and it's fairly accessible, as I recall.
Very.
Yeah, because I did have the opportunity and the privilege to attend this last one, where you had a so-called Scion Exchange. Can you explain what that is?
A Scion Exchange is a gathering. We have this once a year where people bring in different from different fruit trees cuttings that are very fresh. They recommend that you cut them either the night before or that early in the morning to keep, because it's alive. You bring it into, and we exchange it there for so that we can graft these different types of fruits onto other trees.
Okay, and when you say graft, as for people to know, you're actually putting that piece that you cut onto an existing tree at home.
Yes.
And then you can have, it doesn't have to be the same variety of same fruit, but it can be of different varieties of the same type of fruit.
If it's in its fruit group, for example, you could put in a peach, you can hook that one onto an apricot or vice versa, because they're in the stone fruit group. But you can't hook a papaya onto a...
Yeah, understandably.
No.
But can you have an apple tree and grow 3 or 4 different apples on it?
Yes.
Wow. And plums?
The plums is the same thing. That can be done as well. The one thing you have to watch out for is that they're all under competition, even though they're hooked onto the mother plant. So you have to really judge it as far as your pruning, to keep them all under control, because one will always want to dominate it.
Okay, which brings us to support. I mean, you're going to organization, Edgar. has various means of, if somebody wants to be interested and wants to know more about it, you have a website, and is it displayed on who certain experts are? So let's say you're an expert on the pitaya.
Yes, we have a excellent website, crfg.org, that and now people from all over the world can go access into it. And we have different segments in there that they depend what you are interested to. If you are in different type of tropical fruit, we have a list of so many tropical fruits, subtropical fruits, and then you can get into those different type of fruit that you wanted, and then we have a lot of information into it, given to you free actually. And then if you want more information, we have a specialist in there that you can send your question to them, and they will be answered to you. So in couple days or 2 days, you have answers. So it's excellent, because anybody that has any question, regardless, any
modern technology makes it so much easier to find out about things like this.
Worldwide,
it's incredible.
Yeah, one of the, I just posted myself excellent pitaya. Since one of the experts in pitaya, I posted a website about pitaya, and I get in questions and information from Thailand, from Vietnam, from South Africa, from everywhere. They want more information about it, and it's excellent. The new technology is helping so much.
Now, what about locally? If they want to, they see the show, they want to come to one of the meetings, is there a website, or how would they find out when the meetings are? And
we have each chapter has published a newsletter, local newsletter, and we send that to a lot of our members. So we have meetings once a month when we get very good speakers. They come to give lectures, and remember, all of this is free. And then we have field trips that we do once a month to different gardens, different plantations.
Now, when you say gardens, are some of these individual persons that have a very elaborate garden, or are we talking about nurseries?
Nurseries or big orchards. We choose in which one is the best suited for our members, because where we can learn. Remember that our organization is all our members, they're hungry for knowledge. So wherever place you go, always you learn something. It's like me. I've been already 7 years in CRFG, and each time I go to different place, always I learn something.
Yeah. Now, Edgar, like I would be interested in visiting other people's, individuals like yourself, and the two of you here, they have their own gardens at home, to see how you manage all of these different things there. Yeah, I can go to a nursery and he can tell me something, but it's nice. So you actually have some visits to people's gardens, right?
Yes, and they share the information with us, because mostly the people that we visit, they are not for money. They are mostly for love. So when you do something for love, you want to share to everybody.
Well,
so they give you all the information you wanted, and they don't hide nothing.
I think that's how all three of you started. Emery, you're a composer and a musician. This is how you earn your living. But you have been involved with the CRFG for many, many years. You've even been president of the or vice president, should I say?
Yes, I was vice president of the organization, and I coordinated communication between the various chapters basically in southern up to central California to the parent organization. So I was sort of like the liaison between the parent organization and the chapters.
So you kept yourself very busy with this organization for quite some time. And we'll also see some more of your work in a little bit. But I'd also like to know how, and I'm going to each individually, but I'll ask you first, how you got interested in rare fruit. What was it that sparked your interest?
Well, I've been a vegetarian for even longer than I've been a member of the CRFG. And I saw a display at the Ventura County Fair that was put on by the organization, and I was more interested in eating the fruit than growing it. But they persuaded me to attend the meeting, and
And you got hooked.
I got a chance to taste the cherimoya, and that was it.
Because I know that even sometimes you see some of these fruits at the grocery store, but not very often and not very much of a variety. But I agree with you, Emery, that once you taste something exotic and something, I'd like to have some more of this, or can I grow this in my yard? So that's what got you started, and you've been enthusiastic about it, and of course your knowledge has grown over the years.
Yes.
And Edgar, how did you get started?
Oh, that was always, when I retired, because I was in the computer business for so many years, and I like to do something with my life because I was retired, so I was trying to choose a hobby. So one day my wife find out in the newspaper that CRFG was giving a tour to the Thousand Oaks garden. So my wife read that article in the Times, so we went there, and then I saw those wonderful semi-tropical fruits, cherimoya, all those fruits that, oh my God, I say I had to get involved into this organization.
Oh.
So I met Dr. Hager, and I signed my application, then I became a member. And I met some wonderful people in there, and I learned so much. Remember when I started this project 7 years ago, I was zero in knowledge in plants in horticulture. And now I will say that I don't want to brag myself, but I would put myself up there that I do a lot of projects.
You've also developed some new fruits too, didn't you?
Yes, I do that all the time, especially with the passion fruits. Passion to me in the beginning was the expression of passion, of love, and I got involved in that and to develop new types of passion because it's very easy to do cross-pollination of the pollen, and then you create a hybrid. Then you get those seeds and you plant it, then you have automatically a brand new hybrid plant that you don't know how it's going to come out and how the fruit is going to be. So I started doing that. Then and now with the pitayas, I cross-pollinate the pitayas so much.
Well, this has been your latest passion, I understand, and it's become so much that people consult you now on the pitaya, not only from around here, but different around the world.
Yes. And then even pitayas, we do that, and then I do the citrus too. Now I'm trying to, I have a mixture between navel orange and a grapefruit that you can see that in the basket. It's excellent flavor. It's very sweet when you eat it, and then in the end, when you swallow, you have the flavor of the grapefruit.
Well, once you develop something like this, is it offered to like nurseries that wants to develop it further for commercial purposes?
Yeah, but before you do that, they have to go to a test, because we have so many diseases, especially in the citrus, because the industry in California is so careful in contamination. We don't want to introduce plants that will destroy the big business in agriculture. We have millions of dollars into that, so they are very good. Before you start reproducing one tree, they have to go to different tests. If they don't have disease, all those things. Once it's approved, then nurseries can propagate it by grafting.
If one becomes a member of the CRFG, can one, people share what they're growing and everything? I mean, I would love to try to grow one of those.
Excellent. That's the key of the point. They come to my house, example, 3 times a year, big groups from different chapters. They come in a bus, 50 or 80 people at once, and I give them to taste different type of fruits, and I give it away because I don't do this for money. I do that for the pleasure of sharing with the people. So the more I give it, the more happy I am. So always I give it fruits, give it plants to them to share.
Well, speaking of giving and happy, let's listen to one of Emery's composition over here. We got a little tape with photographs of the fruits to give the people a little treat. And indeed, you watch the music, and not only are you stimulated visually with the fruits and everything, but the music, you just want to dance and make you happy. So Emery, let's take a look at the tape that was put together, that you composed, the music and the lyrics, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Jabuticaba, carambola, chirimoya, sapolia. If these fruits sound strange and new, well then please come with me to the CRFG. Yes, the CRFG welcomes you. We grow pepinos, we grow papas, we grow purple passion fruit, and we invite you to grow them too. If you like pitahayas or babaco papayas, then the CRFG is for you. Oh yes, the festival of fruit and the Cyanwood exchanges are fun things we like to do. Our Fruit Gardener magazine, it will help your thumb turn green. Yes, the CRFG is for you. Then there's our fruit shoot, we shoot photos for the fun, and everyone gets a chance to win a prize or two. Find out just what isn't hard to grow in your own backyard. Yes, the CRFG is for you. Pomegranate and persimmon, and you'll find lots of men and women with interests just like you. So please come along with me. You can try a jujube. Yes, the CRFG is for you. You like pomelos, you like kumquats, but you live where there are small lots. Your growing space limits you. Let your tree grow half and half. We will show you how to graft. Yes, the CRFG is for you. Try the blue watts, try the plums. You might just like apriums. Yes, the CRFG is for you. Does it bloom early or bloom late? How long will you have to wait? Well, the CRFG can't tell you. We've tasted loop, must taste the love, what's tasted leeches, tasted longhand, and that's just to name a few. If you've tasted mangosteen, then you know just what I mean. Yes, the CRFG is for you.
All right. Very exciting. Not to mention we got to see quite a number of different fruits and even a vegetable or two in there.
Yes.
So it was very toe tapping, wasn't it? And the mouth was salivating to it at the same time.
And the lyrics, very, very happy. You want to even dance.
Yes. And Emery, you also are involved in this annual fruit shoot. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, well, a lot of the pictures that you saw that were being displayed with the song were from the 2003 fruit shoot.
Mm-hmm.
But we hold this contest annually. This year's contest has just begun, and it is open to the public. Anyone can enter. If you go to the crfg.org website, there is a link there for the fruit shoot.
Mm-hmm.
With all the details, and you can upload your photos digitally, or you can
Send them.
You can mail photographs. Again, the only requirement is that it has to be of some edible plant. There has to be some edible plant involved in the picture, and there are some prizes.
Now, are any of these pictures also featured in any of the magazine?
Yes, they do get featured in the magazine. I don't believe they are in that particular issue, but they do get displayed once a year, the winners, as well as being displayed at our annual Festival of Fruit, which this year will be held in September.
5th and through the 9th, I believe.
Yes, in San Luis Obispo.
And that's an annual event?
Yes.
Okay. And George, tell me some of the other events that CRFG is involved in. I believe you put something up at Pierce College?
Yes, that's called the Farm Walk. Several organizations set up their booths there, and we are one of them. To our main purpose of it is to stimulate membership and get the public interested in our organization, and of course growing rare fruits.
And what do you display, or what do you have there at?
We bring in some displays of people that are in the organization that have stuff growing at that particular time of year. You know, fruits.
So you do display fruits like these over
berries,
here.
yes. And we remember last year we gave out the samples of them.
Ah, so they got to taste it.
Get to taste it as well. And
that's
one
very
member,
important.
one member also had a demonstration on grafting.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Yeah, so people, because I mean, it was always a mystery to me. I mean, I've known about grafting a long time, but it just seemed beyond my skill or something to do something like that. And after this last meeting that I went to the organization, where you did have some grafting demonstrations, I was brave enough to try it myself. So I hope that we'll see if my success worked or not. But it was very well explained. It was very clear, and I could ask questions, so that was good. So anybody that wants to come and know how to do that, that's an excellent way of doing it, because you actually demonstrate it right there on the spot, how to do it and how to make the cuts and everything. So yes, that was very good. And I believe another major event that Edgar participates in every year is the Faulkner Farms event.
The Faulkner Farm event is that we're trying to create they give it to us 2 acres of land. So what we're going to put in there is different type of semi-tropical fruits from different members that they're going to donate those plants and grow it in there so the public can come and look into it.
Now, Faulkner Farms is associated with one of the universities, isn't it?
Yes, it's with the University of California. And so then, matter of fact, 3 days ago, we had a very good festival in there where we teach 200 students from different high schools. They came over there and we teach them how to do grafting. You know, the best way to promote of these tropical fruits and put a very good enthusiasm into young kids about horticulture is teaching how to do it themselves. Because so many people, when you read a book, you say, oh, theory.
So
but if they do it.
So these were high school students?
Yes.
About how many attended that
200.
event? 200. Wow,
yeah,
that's
we
very
were
impressive.
6 members of our organization, and we give them knives to each student, and each student has to do their own grafting. So that's good, because in the future they are not afraid of doing. They can go home and put different type of fruits into one tree.
Now, did they take home with them that graft?
Oh, yes. They take home their own grafting, and I told them, matter of fact, I want to see fruit. I'm going to go visit you, so I'm going to be able to eat those apples.
Because that's what really improves the enthusiasm. I mean, it sparks them that when they see their success.
And motivate them.
So, I mean, because I think we can turn the whole planet back into the Garden of Eden again if there's enough people that want to, get involved in it.
Especially nowadays, that it's very difficult. You have to know exactly when the fruit has been grown in the backyard or the fruit has been grown in the stores. To go into the stores, they have to pick the fruit very green to be able to go transportation. Right. So the flavor is not the same. Right. But when you grow the fruit in your backyard, they has a lot of sun, so it become very sweet and very delicious. And then you pick it up, the fruit, and you taste it. oh, it's something that you never gonna forget the flavor.
Well, you know, most people know only through tomatoes. They usually just grow tomatoes is one of the things. And they all know that homegrown tomatoes are the best because when they're vine ripe, that's most delicious. But what they should also know, as you pointed out, is that fruits are very much the same way. Apricots or apples, I mean, when they are picked off the tree, when they are in their full ripeness, the flavor, it says, oh, is this what it's supposed to taste like? You know, I often heard the expression.
It's excellent, very good flavors. And that's why, you know, and especially all these fruits that we have in here, some of them, they are tropicals and they are semi-tropicals, but they are adapted already to grow in California. And you're never going to see these fruits in the market. So when you are you're in the organization, that is the best chance for you to taste
If you
it.
want to taste one of these things right here, more than likely, but I think I've seen them in the store. And this is a star fruit, or what?
Correct,
is it?
that's star fruit.
And the reason it's a star, because if you cut it forms
a perfect star.
A perfect star.
Yes, and now they have a new type that is very sweet, so it's very delicious.
And what? Here, this one's easier to get out. This looks very interesting. And what is this?
That's a chirimoya. Chirimoya is becoming very popular here in California nowadays because we have so many people from different cultures, from different countries, and they know very well chirimoya in their own countries. So that is delicious flavor. The only bad part is that, you know, needs to grow in certain warm weather.
Edgar, we're running out of time. I do want to cover a little bit that you also have available information and lectures that people can access the website on the different fruits. So if people do want to get involved in it, they can access this information.
Yes, our organization, we have almost 36 DVDs, as you see in here. That those DVDs are lectures from very good professors.
So a person could get all the information that they want.
Yes.
Okay.
They will be online.
Edgar, I hate to cut you short because I know you can talk a lot more about it, but I want to thank you, Edgar, Emery, and George for being on the show and for instilling some more enthusiasm, because I know every time I come to one of your shows, meetings, I get encouraged again. So thank you very much for being on the show.
No problem at all. It's a pleasure.